Hi, my name's Becka Bradshaw and I am a Villa Ambassador. I'm here today with my colleague Mariah and we are here to show you the trend of ghost layers. So how many of you have your guests coming in right now and they are talking about how they want to have less weight in their hair, but they don't necessarily want to have any visible layers. So that's kind of what's going on right now with Mariah. We are hot here in the summer of Florida and we are ready to get rid of some of this weight and this density. So Mariah has like a little soft layer shape in already. We don't want to edit that external silhouette, but there is a bunch of density in the middle of the hair there that we want to take care of and kind of remove some of that weight so that the hair can move and flow free form. So we're here with the hair all section, and what we have going on here is really simple so we can see the areas in which there is the most density that we need to move around. So we have the top and the crown sectioned off as one section, and then we have the sides and the back sectioned off as one section, and we have left out our nape, and we'll begin in the nape first. I'm using the Villa dry cutting clips here because we are cutting dry and we want to preserve the style that Mariah has already allowed us to kind of work with here. So in the nape area, we don't have nearly as much density on Mariah as we do in this back area. So what we're going to do for the nape area is we're going to use a different type of slide cutting here that I think you're gonna find really enjoyable. We're going to start in the center and we're going to work out from center to side on both sides. And we're going to section and imagine that there's about 3 pieces in each section. So on this piece of hair, we're going to elevate it slightly, but not all the way to 90. We're not trying to create a whole layer shape within this, just those ghost layers. So we'll elevate slightly and we're going to look for where the hair is the most dense. So Mariah's hair tends to be the most dense right here in this center section of hair, so that is where I want to focus. So we'll pick up the piece of hair. We're going to pick up our Artist Series shear here. I love this for dry cutting as well as wet cutting, but in this case, it's because of the Japanese steel and the scissor just slides through the hair like butter. So we're going to take advantage of that and we're going to pick up and we're going to weave 3 pieces out of this little section of hair. We're going to turn so that the shear is facing us. We're going to come out. As those sections drop out, we're going to move the shear down and then just slide cut the very last little piece. So that's section 1. We're going to move on to section 2. So we can see that in section 2, it's got a very similar density. We're going to move through it and we're going to do the same thing. Again, picking the hair up at the mid strand of the hair, weaving with our shear. So we have about 3 little pieces that we've picked up. We're going to slice those right out and then come back and continue our slide cutting down through the ends. So on the very last piece of hair here in the corner, it is not quite as dense as these sections in the middle are here. So as we're picking those up, we may just weave out 2 little pieces of hair that are going to become shorter. So what you're going to see, again, is this. The shear itself is going to come in and weave once, twice, to pick up those pieces of hair and then turn so that the shear is facing you or towards the floor. And you're going to bite your shears through the hair on the way out and then just the very tail ends of it. So this little movement that we're doing here is helping us to take out just a few pieces inside the hair without taking out so much right here in the center. There are sometimes times that we want to take out hair in the center, but right now we just want to take a few little strands. So we're back and we're working on the left side. We have 3 pieces that we've picked up on this side, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to slice on our way out. Once those 3 pieces have been moved out, we're going to take the ends and just slice through the ends. And we'll repeat that one more time. So again, your elevation is low, so it's keeping a lot of these hairs that are being cut out also living downward. Whereas if we elevate higher, we get a lot of these hairs that are starting to lift up and create lift from the underneath. We don't necessarily want that with these ghost layers. So we can see it. I'm just gonna move to the side right here and watch as we elevate. We're gonna move 1, 2, 3 times through this hair, twist the shear. After those pieces fall out, you are at this point in time picking up a tool from the colorist. You're using your shear here, which is a wonderful tool, just like you would use a foil comb. So again, on the very corner, we're going to only weave it twice. So again, once, twice, we're coming in and we're slicing those pieces off first. Watch as they drop. You can see that those hairs are significantly shorter than everything else, but now you've moved out as you're slide cutting. So the only thing that you need to do right here is just tap on those ends. So we have Mariah's length that's still here. It's still available for her to use into ponytails and braids, but these internal layers that it's created here, these ghost layers, right, are going to be so hidden and so secret for her. All right, let's look at something new in this next section. We're gonna take down the back. Now, what you can see that we've done with the nape area, since we're already done with it, is we've placed a couple of these sticky grips in, so I know that I don't need to cut into this area anymore, but I don't have big clips that are in my way at this point in time, so we're able to do what we need to do in this section without getting into the nape section that we've cut already. So as we're coming through here, we want to start looking and finding out where the amount of density is. If again, it is in that middle area, we're going to want to start slicing through that area. So let's give that just a second. All right, so we have determined that this is going to be really similar to the nape in the fact that most of the density lives in that middle section of the hair. So that is where we want to begin our transition when we're cutting into the hair. Okay, so right here, we will take a triangle shaped section on the crown of Mariah's hair and lift up that crown area, letting everything else fall underneath it. Then as we lift up that crown area, we can see that we might still have a little bit of density right here in the center. We can go ahead and we can take our reversible blender at this point in time and mirror the technique that we used in the nape. So we're going to take the reversible blender and we are going to weave that reversible blender through the hair and just cut those few pieces. As we drop that section, we can see here in the center that it starts to melt in. So let's do one other section on the other side. We're on the left side of the hair at this point in time. We're going to take that triangle shaped section as if we're moving with pieces of the pie around the head. We are going to elevate that section out and being careful that we're not cutting right into the top. We're going to weave out 1 or 2 pieces and cut those pieces with the blending shear. As we comb that out again, you can see that the center section is now melting right into everybody else. All right, last tool choice. As we go through towards the front, and there's a few pieces that we want to edit, it does become a little bit blonder on Mariah. So since she has fine hair and it's a little bit blonder, we're going to opt for my last favorite tool. We're going to be using the 14 tooth point cutting shear. We're going to continue with our triangle shaped sections. In this crown area, we're going to elevate it, and then looking for the area that we need to remove a little bit of this weight from. We can see that it's right through, again, this middle area. We're not going to work with the very top layer of hair. We call it the veil. So then we can come through here and no need to weave. We can just cut, cut, cut on the way out. My pattern that's been working for this haircut has been working in rules of threes. So please take that and use that if it's working for you. All right, do it again. Yeah, so my favorite thing about this 14 tooth point cutter is that it works just like I would work to go in there and do all these super deep point cuts into the hair. And then the same thing on this side. We don't necessarily need a lot of weight or density removal on this side. So let's go ahead and we'll move that 14 tooth point cutter through the other side. We are working with those triangle shaped sections, so we only have 2 more on this section. Removing the very top piece of hair. We want no layers that are living right on the top this time. And now we're coming through and we're coming in. You can see where this density is living right in through here. We're going to come in and watch as we're letting this hair just kind of fall out. Very, very small, easy to remove weight with this tool and know that you can feel safe. So it looks like we've given you 3 different techniques that you're able to use to come in here and give all of your guests ghost layers so that they too can have their hair moving around, having all of the movement that they want, with no more layers that live on the top of their hair shape. We hope you learned something, including about tool choice and about sectioning today. So here at Sam Villa, we just really want to bring everything that's from our heads and our hearts to your hands. So please take these and use them. We can't wait to see you again next time here on the Sam Villa channel. Until next time, I'm Becka Bradshaw.